Spoilers abound.
How did I sound, Will? Could you hear?
Sounded great, man. How are you?
Dude, I'm good. Could you hear my... Could you see me saying 3, 2, 1?
Yes, and I heard it.
Oh, and you heard it. Fantastic.
Yeah, this time I heard it. The last time I didn't.
The last time you didn't. And that is the intro to our interview with the enigmatic, the amazing, the time traveler, Will Garrett.
No. Yeah.
Hey.
I am a Garrett.
You are, yeah.
Yeah, thank you for that lovely introduction. And I'm so happy to be talking to you and not eating ramen.
Definitely. Wow. I think that's probably one of the most true, altruistic, heartfelt things that anyone's ever said to me. So,
I mean, who wants ramen, really?
Truly, when you think about it, what a waste of time. The broth gets everywhere. The noodles, you have to slurp them. You know, it's a hard life. It's a hard life.
It truly is.
So, we talked before, and as we have said on the past couple of interviews, this is going to be our segment in between the end of Unknown Treasures and the start of Book 3 of the Threefold Conspiracy, where we are now currently interviewing all of our players, asking them questions. And the question now is, I said to Will, I need a warm-up question, like a softball. And Will was like, hey, why don't we just ask ChatGPT? So I'm going to watch stream now. And what question should we go with, Will?
All right. So I'm asking ChatGPT, what are softball questions for an interview with a castmate
This is so
for a Starfinder podcast?
perfect. Just ask. Let's see. Dot, blinking, thinking.
I was going to say error.
Yeah. Yeah, these are good, but they're not like softball-y. Let's see.
None of these are softball questions. I don't think ChatGPT really understands what a softball question is. Softball question is
It's a warm-up.
You know.
Yeah.
It's a warm-up question, not like, what aspects of Starfinder setting or lore do you find most intriguing?
What kind of energy or vibe do you think you can bring to the podcast and the team? That's like it's like an interview question.
Yeah, man, this is like hard stuff.
Yeah. Wow, this is crazy. How do you feel about engaging with the Starfinder community and interacting with listeners? Also, that's like an interview question. It's crazy.
That is a real interview question. These are not softballs. I'm going to provide that feedback. These are too hard. Please dumb it down.
Is ChatGPT about to give us more questions?
Certainly.
Oh, okay,
here are some
go.
simplified softball questions for an interview with a potential castmate for a Starfinder podcast.
They're the same questions.
They're literally the same questions. I don't think ChatGPT knows how to be dumb.
What do you find exciting or fascinating about the world of Starfinder? Wow, that's not how this works at all.
I could answer that question, I guess. I feel like
do you want to answer it? Go for it.
Is there one that I want to answer here?
Is there a Starfinder ramen flavor from a certain planet or species or culture that you would particularly enjoy?
Personally?
Yeah, you.
That I'm aware of. I mean, I really do want to try the grape Fanta from the Threefold Conspiracy, but yeah, I don't really. The Levara Lush. What is that?
Levara Lush. Yeah, it's meant to be like a tropical flavor.
Oh, I'm all about that actually.
Yeah.
I love the Pog. I love the Cactus Cooler. I love all things fruit blend juice drinks with a little fizz. Just can't go wrong.
So far, the food questions really seem to end up being the warm up questions.
Honestly, I only think about food and drink. Those are the only thoughts that go through my mind as I'm time traveling through the world, through the universe. I'm really just looking for something to eat.
Yeah, it's a pretty great reason to be a time traveler. Pretty great reason. You want to jump into some characters? Can you tell me, Will, who are the characters that you play in the Threefold Conspiracy and Unknown Treasures?
Well, within the Threefold Conspiracy, I play Dr. Kantu Okadis, who is a Osharu from the planet of Pabak, who is engaged in many academic pursuits, namely biohacking, as a forefront to his collegiate scholarship. Within that, also, he's, as many of you probably know, Pabak is a planet that is effectively tamed through the use of technology. So he's also a mechanic, and he currently is in operation of a Sage drone that was bequeathed to him through, well, I don't know if it was bequeathed, but he recovered it from his long-lost colleague, Aeon Boustakis, Dr. Aeon Boustakis. And, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. He is, alone. And Shara alone is not a comfortable thing. And so he's very, I don't know. I don't know how much. He's just kind of a fish out of water. And he obviously grew up from a sort of collegiate academic atmosphere.
Yeah.
I don't know if that plays well in the dynamics of the show, but that's kind of his character upbringing, I guess. And so him breaking out of that is interesting. So it's an interesting thing to explore. Within Unknown Treasures, I play Termaedan Hermidax, who was the yeoman chief on aboard the what's his name? Caduceus, yes. Well, I mean, obviously I know that. And wasn't forgetting.
Definitely,
a moment ago. Definitely wasn't forgetting. Yeah, so I mean, he's got a long history with Goldhorn, which I guess is another character that I play.
That's
right?
very true. I think you need to introduce Goldhorn.
That's fair, right?
Yeah, totally fair. Totally fair.
Goldhorn is a Naor, which is a sort of a bovine creature known for their memory and affinity for mazes, I believe, is within the they're kind of like a dungeony sort of they're great at pattern recognition, I guess.
Yeah.
As far as a trait of their species. Yeah, and he's sort of a menacing figure, and he's got glistening gold horns that are yeah.
He's got a really
he's
great...
obsessed with gold.
Yeah.
And riches and being a pirate. In the worst ways, I think.
His demeanor.
Sorry. Yeah. I mean, I liked portraying him the few times that I have. I hope maybe in the future there's more for
maybe
for Goldhorn.
More. I just want
for Termay there might also be more.
Maybe.
There's Termay. He's a Witchwarper, which you can't say 5 times fast, otherwise the universe will implode. And or his will anyway. Yeah, so he's kind of an interesting witch words don't have a whole lot of about them that is known, so it's kind of he's a sort of mysterious figure, and one of those qualities, as many witch words have a affinity for being cloaked, both literally and figuratively in all cases. And they're thought to be the progenitors of Kasathans and the
Shabads.
Shabads, yeah. The unfortunate boss at our end of our YouTube, Unknown Treasures, not to spoil it for. I hope I'm not spoiling it for anyone. I mean, there's definite spoilers. We probably should have started with a warning for spoilers.
I'll add something in that says there are spoilers, so it's fine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Spoilers abound in this discussion, I'm sure.
I'll cut that clip right there.
Yeah. Okay.
Spoilers abound in this discussion. I'll put that right at the beginning. I'll put a lot of reverb. It's just like spoilers abound.
Boom.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, we'll cut this all.
No. It's all, dude. It's all staying in. I have really not been cutting
in just
any
in
of
pieces.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's good. It's all.
There we go.
In there. Beautiful. That was like that was way more than anybody else has said so far. That was fantastic. It was great.
I try.
As I've come to expect, an incredible level of detail and thinking in all of your characters.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, let's stay
over,
on.
Right? No.
What?
Interview over, right? No,
that's it. Kidding. Yeah, I just asked you about that, and knowing you that you provide so much awesome stuff that I just get to be like, cool.
I don't know. Anyway.
So let's stick with Unknown Treasures for a second, and let me ask, what are three of you thinking at the end of the show? What is Treme thinking? What is Goldhorn thinking? And maybe what is Will thinking? Feel free to answer as many of those as you like.
Well, I don't know if I want to.
Oh,
okay.
Or don't.
Yeah. So if it comes up later, then this is going to be a major spoiler.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
Anyway, I know
Goldhorn is upset.
Okay.
And he wants an explanation more than anything. I don't think that he's necessarily upset with Rolu, but he wants to get to the bottom of whatever is going on as far as his departure. Like, he feels kind of dissed.
Disrespected.
And I think, yeah, I mean, you give your 2 weeks notice. Or like at least some notice, right? You don't say like everything's gravy and then just bounce. But also, I mean, it concerns him too that like he's involved with Hears and this like rogue pirate ship and like what the heck's going on there. So he thinks that there's definitely some explaining to be done. He's interested in Terme's thoughts on the situation and why Terme left. Because he's close with Terme. And, well, I mean, because within my own head, I'm obviously playing 4D chess in my own head right now.
Right, yeah, but, of course.
Terme's thoughts are what is going on, much along the same lines. He wants to get to the bottom of it, and that's why he pursued or decided to go along. Now, what happens, how far along down the rabbit hole does he go? Does he betray them at the end? Remains to be seen, right? Like, it was kind of interesting because you guys kept me personally. This was after. Now we're going into like what was I thinking at the end of Unknown Treasures?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the fans know, but like because I think we talked about this a little bit, at least in the plot armor. But I was totally in the dark about what was going on between everyone, and I think you, John, Kevin knew obviously what was kind of gonna play out, and then Kelly for sure knew, and I think Vinny probably knew. He knew part. Anyways,
do you want me to share what I think everyone knew?
Yeah.
You curious?
Yeah.
I mean, I knew what Rolu wanted. It was very clear from the beginning, right? Or from once that made sense. Kev knew that was a goal of mine, and he knew what a goal of Kelly's was, right? Of that.
Yeah.
But Kev also was the GM, so he, frankly, at every when Rolu was first frozen, he would just message Kelly and be like, now's your chance. Or he would message me and be like, go get the stone. Like, right?
Yeah.
Like, that was it. Like, he of course can't do anything, so he would just message and say. And then Kelly and I talked about, you know, like, are we comfortable with PvP, or do we like, what are we thinking, right? Like, and then we both kind of agreed, but we obviously knew what the other person wanted. Venny truly was like you in that he didn't know anything other than what we talked about as a group, right? There was one phone call that I had with Venny after Chalk had been on Rolu's shoulder. And this is not, I'll just say this because I want to get back to you. And I just asked Venny, I was like, you know, do you want to know what I'm thinking?
Yeah.
And he said no. And I was like, okay, cool. I just wanted to know in general.
Okay.
But I said, I'm trying to think about what Shock wants. And he was like, and he kind of gave me a clue about like, well, Shock is, because I was thinking to myself, how do I get Shock to be in on this, right? Because Shock's already there and Shock has the stone. So it was just by chance, because Shock had the stone, that I had to convince Shock. So Venny really didn't know anything. I didn't tell him what was going on or what was going to happen next. I just was like, what does Shock really want? You know?
Yeah.
Because John was having a problem knowing. So that was it. So you knew. I actually tell me what you think. I think you were in the perfect position because your decision was entirely based on what everyone did around you in the game. There was no foresight other than you knowing about the story.
Yeah, I mean, I know Rolu plays a role in Threefold. That's literally like that's the entirety of the advanced knowledge that I had going into those interactions, I think. Other than, I mean, I'm wanting the stone, right? Like, I mean, it was cool. That's why I think Terme would have acted in that way as well. Like, I think I played the character true to the character.
I think you did too. You had the most genuine reaction of anybody. And
I think the misfire was just like chef's kiss.
It was perfect.
I loved that. I picked that and it just worked. We did not plan that.
No. So much was
and
not
the
planned.
fate of it was in the die. Like that, we played that exactly as it was meant to be, and you know. Anyways,
and you just, can I ask you? Did you think about it like as soon as Kelly was like, "I'm going to stand up"? In your mind, were you like, "Oh, I've been planning this misfire," or did you just come up with it in the moment?
I came up with that in the moment.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Yeah, I thought like, okay, so there's a gun drawn.
Yeah.
What would Terme do?
In a public place. Yeah. What would Terme do? That's perfect.
It's innocuous enough where it's not like I actually attacked him, right? I just foiled his attack. And I think that's exactly how Terme would try to diffuse the situation between his crewmates, right?
Yeah. It's so good. You're really great at playing true to your character. Like all.
I mean, I spent a lot of time in their heads.
Yeah, it's great. It shows. It comes through. Cool. That was a great answer. That was fantastic. Let's look ahead. Let's move past through the veil and jump into Threefold. Tell me. Let's switch to Dr. OK. What questions are you or Dr. OK looking forward to getting an answer to? Maybe what do you think will happen? What's your thoughts on Threefold?
Yeah. So with Dr. OK. I think the answers that he's looking for are around not just where he is, but where Dr. Bustakis is and what prompted his departure from Pabak in such a sort of uncommon, sort of uncouth way. And he has an allegiance to Bustakis that I think will be revealed eventually as part of our sort of like character sort of development and our arc. I don't want to spoil too much, but I think that down the road, perhaps, if there is a reconciliation, there will be a lot of reckoning between them.
Ooh.
And I'll just leave it there.
It's a big word. It's a big word. That's great. Reckoning. Yeah.
Reconciliation, maybe.
Yeah, reckoning, reconciliation, of course. That's what I was going to say the whole time. That's good.
Myself, I'm wondering, to what extent this the folds of this conspiracy have been I feel like we're through one fold, maybe.
It's a good guess. Yeah.
Probably. I mean, I don't know.
That was a
1.5 folds. Half a fold. I don't know. I don't know how this I really have no idea how this story. I have plenty of guesses, but I don't have the slightest idea as to what real mechanisms are behind all this clockwork. And
great saying.
What are the motives of our the villains at hand? And I have no clue. I don't even know who the villains are. Who's the man behind the curtain, right? Is it the Greys? Is it the stewards? Is it some sort of infiltration from Greys into the stewards? Is it, who knows? Is it all just a dream? Are we going to wake up and we're going to be back on, not Absalom, but on,
Legacy Station?
Yeah, Legacy Station.
Wow.
We just ate some bad food and we were hallucinating this whole time.
that would be to me, it feels like the worst letdown.
I mean, it could be cooler than that. I don't know.
Yeah. It would just be
do I think
lost approach.
Do I think our present predicament is I don't know.
Those are great questions.
Yeah.
I am very curious to ask you personally what you think, what your theories are, but we'll have, who knows. And with that, I'm going to leave us on a question mark. Thank you.
The question mark.
Thank you, Will, for a fantastic interview. That was so deep and rich. I appreciated that.
Did we spend enough time on this interview?
Did we spend enough time? I think we did. I think we've been doing it now for I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, great. I'm going to go eat some ramen now.
Oh, your ramen came. Fantastic. Hey.
My ramen came finally. In the course of our discussion.
This is the best way to end the interview. I hope you enjoy your ramen, and we will see everyone next We'll Save Wednesday. See y'all.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone, for listening. Bye now.